So, what was I going to do? Let's get present. Present is. I'm gonna.
Recording in progress.
Let's all agree that we're here right now. Right? We're here right now. There's a lot of times that I question, like, where is V is presence? Like, where is it? Where do I need to be in order to be present? If I think of Torah, am I present? I'm thinking about something, right? If I think about, so the simple answer is like, wie du darfst zu sein, dat darfst zu sein. If you have to deal with some issues at home, then that's what you need to be present with. If you have to, whatever you're doing, grocery shopping, you're being present with it, right? That I'm doing that. And van jene plaats of being present, I got it called. Van jene plaats of being present, I'm doing what I need to be doing, and then from that place to go deeper with it, you can put it on the other channel also. If I want to go deeper with it, I'm processing that I am wus get me the koach to do this action. What gives me the koach to do this action? And when you do that, when you tap into what the source of what gives me the strength to do this, you basically get out of your mind. You get out of your head, because you can't think how many times we have all these windows that are running in the back head. There's 10 things happening at the same time. So by being present that right now I'm grocery shopping, or forget about davening is a big one. That's already being present with davening. What happens if I don't? So by being present with that, you're going into the flow of what gives us the force of life that keeps us going, and that flow is a creative force, because Jens is the pulse. Jens is Tainug, Einig, Keser, whatever you want to call it, that flowing through us. And that koach has a koach to create. That energy has a koach to create. It is creating, it keeps us going. So when you tap into that, you can basically create your outcome. Because every time we have something that we have an intention for, besides having the intention of what I'm doing, there is what other things are also going on at the same time in the back head. So now that when the bashafim we create whatever, I don't want to say cripples, but that's what we create, weak malachim. So then these are the messengers and everything, and it's an ashvach. I don't have the koach. But what if we can get into a moment of presence, to get super present? This is what I'm doing right now, and by doing that, that forces me to get out of my head and get present into my heart and into my body. And then from that place we connect to the force of creation, the force that creates. That is the idea of being present. Okay. Now, when we daven, so there's a lot of ways to daven. You can be mechav the words, think about the words. You can be make tzirufim with shemes. But we just do the most powerful way of davening. First of all, davening is avodah shebelev. It's something that works from the heart. So it can't be in the head. It has to be in the heart. Van daar daven van the heart. So the words have a koyach. As you are mindful that right now I'm standing, and when we say Hashem it's literally that we understand, we're acknowledging that we're standing in front of the creator of the world. And if you don't believe that, I think even Alter calls them, I don't know, koifer. I think so, yeah. In other words, if you think in your head, like, what, ich tracht jetzt doch staan in front von I don't know what that means. Like, whatever, he's billions of miles away. If you think that, then you're not a mama. You're not believing. That's how sensitive this is. In other words, you can get that crazy with it. I stand now in front of the Creator, and I'm talking to Him. And by doing that, we're connecting to Farbreng, Yitzchak, Yaakov. And these are the three kavan, that is that force that is with you when you go shopping, grocery shopping, and you have that level of presence. So there is regular energy, there's just koyach in the world, acharaim and all that, but then there is the thing that fuels, that is the channel of Farbreng, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Chesed, Gevura, and Tiferet. Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet, and that is our color, our beauty, and from there we go into the midas, and we start davening. Every brucha is connected to another midah. Rafa'enu, and the Alter Rebbe is saying here that literally that when you say Slach Lanu V'Nike Chatana, Baruch Hashem Ekene Chana Marvel Esloach V'Yisafik Brachas Lagam Shem Chashash Bracha Levatala Ela Ein Kan Shum Sofik Klal. If we're making a bracha, then you are actually making a yichud, and if you're making the bracha on something, let's say I want to eat grapes and I make a mazenis, I just made a bracha levatala. It's like, what are you doing? Just killing it. So we're making 18 brachas in the Shemana Esrei. It's that real when you make the bracha that it's not a bracha levatala. Like you're just saying Chanan Amar V'Selech. Rechat Hashem Rekeim Chanan, the was Rachamim as Choinen, Chanina, Chanan. Amar V'Selech, Alta Ein Vergeben. Because his pulse is just full of compassion, full of giving, and what happens is that how the forgiving is, how it works, it's as we're saying it, the more you believe it, the more you're tapping into it. The more real you become with that as you make the brucha, the more it activates. It's like an neshama. The more it activates, the more it creates, and the more you can get real with it. The more you can get real with it. Thank you. The more you can get real with it, the more it forgives. Okay, so let's go with that. Chorban Bayis is Chorban Bayis Shine is bringing Sinas Chinam. Sinas Chinam. Was mat fan gat yanum for no reason. Okay. Sinas Chinam for no reason. Which means that we know that everything we see, everything that's happening around me is my doing, my creation, right? I created. If something is not okay in the house, something's not okay, I can blame other people, I can blame everybody, or I can just understand that I am driving that, I'm creating that. And I take responsibility. You're going to say that what I'm thinking about success, and I'm thinking about all this stuff, and it's not, why is it not happening? Why is it not manifesting? So I can blame out there, or I can simply turn inside and say, where am I still not connected? Where am I still disconnected that I'm still creating that? Not 100% outcome. the more one loves himself, the more he can love someone else. The more I love myself, the more I can love my kids. The more I can, the more I can love my kids, the more present I can be. We machen al een bissel dimmer. Ja, dat is heel geheim. Ja, een bissel nog liggen. Okay, that's good. So listen to this, Rebbe. This is the 9 days. We all know that we're having self-hate. The question is that the Erste Chorban is going for Gileras and Shvichas Dumim and all that, and it only lasted 70 years. From the first to the second. But the second one, it's been going on, it was only for Sinas Chinim, and it's going on for 2,000 years already. 1900 years. Those 2,000 years. So what does it mean? Why? It doesn't fit. What's the problem? The problem is that Sinas Chinim is self-hate. We're going into a place of such a level of yichida, of oneness, that this can't be forgiven. We have to actually do it. You've been forgiven already. We have to do it. The only way out is if you're really there. You can't buy yourself in there. So as long as I still have self-hate, we all have self-hate. We all have parts of us that we don't like. How do we know? Because there's parts that you get triggered when you're out there, and this, that, and the other, victim, and all that. This is still from the alto take that Magayashin, but we're here to clean it. The final cleaning of this bitter heaviness, the Holocaust and all that, and even from before that. But that was the Makbel Patish. So when we do something that is not everything is vibration. So when we do something, forget about when we do something. Everything is a vibration, and whatever we do, we turn on that vibration. So we are the machine, the vessel, the transmitter, and as you think, you're turning on a reaction from that place. If you feel, you're turning on a reaction from that place. If you have will, you're turning on from here, from the center, and then the fetus, and then going down to reproductive, if you have desire. Now, all these have been hijacked by the gulas, which is that my feeling, my desire turned into sexual desires, my feelings turned into harsh feelings, so whatever it is, anger, it's hijacked. So, if I'm under pressure, if somebody's under stress and under pressure, and he's doing an action from that place, then what you're turning on is that static, that noisy frequency, that noisy kav. In other words, if I'm like agitated, then I'm turning it on that, because it's all reacting. Everything is reacting. It's an action and a reaction. It's not like like the hand doing it's like if I put the intention, it can come out there, but that was the intention. So the zweite B'Sim English, getting out of gulas, is by going into. You need a break with that, Jai. That's why, but that's why you're processing, but fine. You process auch. Lass uns machen zusammen, because it's the non-take and we have to go into absolute silence. So, whatever we're thinking, that's what we're creating. So as long as I have self-hate, I'm going to be creating a heavy kav, a heavy frequency. So when we say Chanon Harbar V'L'Shiloach or Fe'enu Hashem V'Nerofe Rofe Choyle Ami Yisrael, how real, how serious do you mean that? How serious, how real are you about with that? That's how real you're activating. Yeah? You follow?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Yudke and Vavke. Yudke and Vavke. The Yid, the Koitzer Shal Yid, the top piece of the Yid, that's the Keser. It's almost like it's just like a very thin wire that triggers transmitter. Because it's Keser. Keser is divided in two. There's the top part which is Tainuk and the lower part which is Ratzon, Arich, Ampen, Atik and Arich. And it's so thin. It's already it's where there is Mishtashea, there is Tainug over there. From there comes out the desire. So that's the Koitzer Shal Yud. The Yud itself is Chachma. Chachma has bittul koyach ma. It has koyach to fully surrender. And when you're able to fully surrender, you can allow that very edelite, which is keser, black and white, that very thin air, Chachma can pick that up because he has bittul. He already sees what the outcome is and how it has nothing to do with him. Again, he uses everything to just be present in the moment. Right now it's good. Because he's always an he sees that if this happened, then fine, it's probably because I need to wake up to this. And when that happens, it's probably because I needed to release that and overcome this. So he uses everything royas and he's fully surrendered that everything is good. Then you have, but from that place you still can't live. I mean, it's chachma. It's like you're basically sitting in silence or sitting locked up all day. It's not. That's still up there. Up there, everything happened. Because it's present. The outcome is already like back, the click. It's already there. It's already there. Everything happened. 2023 already happened. It's just playing out in. So then you have the hay, which is bina. The hay's letter starts opening up. It has its pashtas, vesavas. It widens. It opens up. So it takes that very silent, that very thin. Frequency that we can't pick up, we can't read it. This is mispashet. It's already Bina already starts thinking what's going on. It's the left brain. He starts making plans. He starts thinking. There's machshava, which gives you the picture, but Bina is dissecting it. Then from that place, in other words, the hay, which is the feminine, gets pregnant with this yichud. So you have Keser as a desire, Chachma is the father, and from there goes into Bina, which is the mother, the feminine. She gets pregnant with that, and she gives birth to 6 children. And these 6 children are named Chesed, Gevura, Teferes, Netzachoid, Yisod. And she gives birth to the heart. That's where the midas are. From the heart, it goes into Yesod. Yesod collects everything, and then Malchus, it goes back into the womb. So you have the Vav, the 6 kids, and then the Hay, the second Hay, which is once again Malchus. Malchus is the vessel of everything. There is a Malchus to everything. My father is a masculine to me, but he's a feminine to Kitchebriri. So everybody has their surrender, higher and higher, and we are Malchus Datzilus, which is Knesset Yisrael. That's where we come from. We come from Malchus Datzilus, which is Knesset Yisrael, which is Shechina. Shchina is, there's Kitche B'richa Shchina. Kitche B'richa is the masculine. Not that there is two, but from where this structure starts. How he wanted to be expressed this way. So, Kitche B'richa Shchina, which is Malchus Datzilus, and we are born from that. And we're the children of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And then these were the Uvas, and noch einmal gewähnt the Roim. Again, the Pasticher was genommen des, ins gepastigt. Hat uns getrunken in the midbar, and hat jedem genourished, jeder eine dus in the midbar, and you're being nourished by whatever knowledge that we have was passed down. And the idea is not just that it's passed down, the idea is to wake up to it. Not how much you know. You can know the whole thing, and you know nothing. You're stuck in your head. You just built yourself a bigger prison. Because now you're really stuck, because you can't hear anybody, because you know everything. Comes along a little Leslie McGarma Klum Malthus, and they know a little Alves, and we're lighting up the fire because you know where to go. You're going into the heart. So that is Knesset Yisrael Malchus. So we have Yud K, then the Vav, the children, which goes into the Hay, which is Malchus. Malchus is a fabric that is Leslie Megar Maklum, which means that it has nothing of its own. You can plant anything in it. It has all the possibilities from within the structure of the 10 midas. You can go through Malchus earth, you can build on it, you can plant in it. So too, you can build on this, you can plant on your body, you can plant on your... It's all... Adam Ke'etz HaSada. There's a tree, there's animals, we too came out of the ground. It's just Vipa Ba'afel Nishmas Chaim. In us, he blew in a Ruach Chaim. From inside. Man Nafach Metoif Nafach. So what's breathing us is the centerpiece, the depth, the inner deep piece of this thing that created everything. And he just... It's breathing and it keeps creating. It has the koyach of Bashafim. So we know that the problem is that Paroi, Das, is corrupted, so that's why the files come out corrupted. So, Yudke Vavke. Yeah, Yudke Vavke. So, v'loi ova be'ir nish b'Hashem shaloi yikonis b'Yerushalayim shel Maila ad sheikonis b'Yerushalayim shel Mata Tchila. The Eibishter schwert. Gat nish herangegangen in Yerushalayim shel Maila bis gat herangegangen in Yerushalayim shel Mata first. In other words, we are moving. We have to make it happen. Yerushalayim shel Mata hainu mechinas. Yerushalayim shel Maila hainu mechinas bina. Yerushalayim shel Maila is bina. Okay. Yerushalayim shel Mata hainu mechinas hamalchus. Yerushalayim shel Mata is mechinas malchus, which is ke'ima kebita. You have the mother is bina, the daughter is malchus. So you have the father and the mother, chachma bina. You have the 6 kids, and then you have the daughter. And Abba Yosef Brata, there's an expression that the father puts the final nail into the coffin. He nails the daughter, that Malchus gets it. Because Chachma, the father, the Tata, he has bittul. He can surrender because he sees the noilet. Malchus, what?
The reason because he sees it's not bittul because he knows
he has no outcome.
If he knows the outcome, it's not a bittul.
Of course, yeah, but what do you mean? That's his texture. It's a bittul. How does he know the outcome? Because it's still so high connected that he sees everything. He's not phased by it, so it's full surrender. Yeah, that too. But I don't know if in Bina it's after the Yishalai Neder. I mean, in Chachma. Right? So it's like Hecher. After the Yishalai Neder is Hecher for them. That's in the Kesser. So, now, just listen. What? Because in Chachma weißt er noch. Noch immer du a Platz wie Achshavma. At some point,
Shaykh
it's Kachashach Go'era and it's lights. It's fully white. There's no translation. Like what's going on?
Shaykh al-Ma'ada.
Like the Melucha man, like I am become Kavodah. They're like, what's the point? What's going on over here? We have to listen and then Kavodah Mula says in Malchus in the village. Darf ich erkennen schon noch? Yeah, if you know it. So, look a bit. So, the Malchus also has. Listen to this. Listen. You have Keser. You have Chachma. Chachma is Bittel. Malchus also has that texture of Bittel. Lesle Megarma Klum. You follow how the connection is? You have the Yud K.
You have a Malchus and Chachma having from a different place.
Very good, of course.
The opposite place.
That's the beauty of it. Because he wanted here a plot. Dort oven is good. But now he wants to be mispashit at ein melech b'lo, which means that automatically when there's a this dua kenik is dua fault. There's somebody that has to hold space for him, otherwise it's not kenik. It's vazich align. It's not melech. The melech is, in other words, the minute there's such a concept as a melech, such an energy, there is a melech, there is an am that shows up, that's created as a result to serve this king.
So is a idea, or is physically zoned?
It's physically zoned. That's what we started off with. It's physically zoned. That's what we're going. I'm going there. It's Malchus, so that's a gezuk yadzuk. Look, Yerushalayim Shlomayla Haina Bechinas Bina. Got the Sharagan. Nish Bashem Shloikonas Yerushalayim Shamayla Achikonas Yerushalayim Shamat. Which means that do is a shengishen. Here already happened, but it didn't happen in Malchus yet. It didn't happen down here. That's why we're still here, because it didn't happen here yet. Yes.
So it's meant as the Kennischleim in the Welt and Ach.
Right.
So that's the question. Of that physically not sagen, kann ich gar nicht sagen. Es ist alles eine neue Idee. Can wissen, das so as a concept and auch gar nicht home as a consciousness.
Okay, so listen. Udam Kadman is, we are all, there is Fin Udam Kadman, there is level, this is where we're coming out from. Udam Kadman. This is what feeds us. Dort hat reingeblasen, the Riechbat Nishmaschaim into Udam Kadman, in the news. Okay? And that charged us up. And fine. And we keep coming back in different shapes, different forms. As long as there's Udam Kadman, we're going to be here. And that's always going to be there. So we're always going to be here. It's just how we're going to be here. So you have Malchus is Lesle Megar Maklum. I think I was in the middle of something else. We'll go back to this. Lesle Megar Maklum, which means it has the same texture, which means that you have the ability to surrender to anything. Not everybody has that ability. The animal can't surrender to anything. You can surrender to anything. It means that you can create something from the situation. You can create your way out of it. You can create your way into it. Well, I'll get to that soon. I'm not sure. 1 second. No, in the heart, you have to surrender.
In the heart, surrender.
Yeah, in the feelings. Stop. No, nicht stört sich jetzt. Okay. So, ein Melech Beloyam, Keser and Malchus. a keser is Malchus. This whoever has the crown is Malchus. That's Malchus. The king has the crown. That's Malchus, and Malchus is the keser. It's one and one. So we are Knesset Yisrael, which is the Malchus, the Shechina, and we are the Malchus, and he's the keser. So this is where Malchus and keser meet upon him, and it is happening when it's going to happen down here in Yerushalayim Shalmata, which is that we have to activate it. We have to go there. That is the Sinas Chinim. The more we can forgive ourselves for the Sinas Chinim, it's no reason hate. We're not even aware that we have the hate. It's for no reason. It was just part of the program. Judgments and so that is when the final hay is going to be healed, which is Malchus. Malchus also has the ability to speak. Yeah, like imagine we are just projecting from in the air, like there's just a train foot, and then there's a person walking, like projecting out energetically, projecting out. And it speaks also. Nothing else that is in this fabric is able to speak. Speaking. Like, what type of technology is that? You're not barking, you're not in a pitched voice, you're speaking words that have the koach to do different things. So that's why the Letzte Gula is it's lasting so long, because we're not pressing from the right side. We don't know where the numbness is. There's Sinas Chinim. So the 9 days, the non-take is a Masav Azai. Where are you going to find the Sinas Chinim? You're going to find it when you go into silence. You go into absolute silence. Even music is a distraction. When you want to go into absolute silence. Everything is a distraction. Going into absolute silence, no music, nothing. By doing that, then we're able to do the Chan Namar B'Lashalech from a very, very present place. From absolute silence. Yeah, that's where you have the best shot. We also have, we did this last year, 2 years ago, we have Yom Kippur Tisher, you have the Tzentatuk from Tisher is Yom Kippur. Tzentatuk is Yom Kippur, so then it's got around Kodesh Kodeshim, the 11th Tuk or the Tzentatuk? Tzentatuk? Yom Asiri, okay. So the Tzentatuk, got around Kodesh Kodeshim, and Nuchdem, the next Tuk Nuchdem is God's Tuk, that's why they call it. So you have now in Chodesh Menachem Av, which is Av is Chachma, Reyes HaNoilet, yeah, Reyes HaNoilet. So the Tzentatuk is the Natatuk up when the Natabrach, and no hast du the Tzentatuk up verbrennt, then it's brand, das ist im English, yeah? So this is, huh? The final destruction, which means the final building of the Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi, which is that the Beis Hamikdash was just a mold that was creating an energetic field, a shape. Whatever we do over here imitates. whatever you do, from whatever place you do it from, that's what you're creating. Right? So we are just, you leave your trace everywhere. Yeah, the Baal Shem Tov walked into the shul and gesehen that Allah is hier. Because wherever we go, we leave a trace. And if it's a negative trace, it's a negative trace. What we create, and again, whatever is in your life, you're creating. You're leaving that. That's what you're stamping. You keep flashing. He flashes and we flash, and everybody starts flashing. And then there's the triangle effect where so I got to hold up on this. So then here, and it's all these laser beams holding everybody hostage. Who's going to put the weapons down first? Russia or America? No, I don't trust them, just you. Then you have the instigator. So everybody, now we're standing like this, and we're in low conscience. The Beis HaMikdash also created a stamp. It created bringt a certain structure. It's like a sandcastle. You put it in the bucket, you turn it over, and then you pick it up, and the whole thing is there. It's holding the shape. Beis HaMikdash was there, the structure, the karbunas, the yichidim, and all that. Ganz kalles was Rav came or the regular dreimal a year to meet, whatever was happening on each and every one of these Yom Tovim. And when it was finally, now that reality also created our reality. That was in Chomer, and we were in Chomer. It created our reality. Now that you remove that, we're going into a deeper place. We're going into the electricity, to the oil of it. We're going into the reflection of that.
What if both are wrong?
1 second. Alright, you're listening wrong. It can be that I finished that, and within the Zolbo line, you had a question, because it means that you're not processing what I'm saying.
I'm processing, but both are wrong.
You're not feeling it. 1 second, breathe. We're walking into the Beis HaMikdash. Alright, so just breathe. Who cares? As a Chochmah is another. Kohen Gudel, of course. Of course, Kohen Gudel. And? But so given what's der Kohen Gudel? The vibration of the Kohen Gudel, so that in the 7 Licht, in the 7 Midas, and it's bringt in Welt. So tap into the Kohen Gudel.
And the passage the Kohen Gudel is left to the middle. You can stay where you are.
It's in the center. 1 second.
Or you
can't
right.
Stop. I'm in the middle of doing something, and you're just asking questions. We're in the middle of doing something. So, if it comes out like that, that's where I'm at. Right? So surrendering to that created that reality. Now, once that was removed, then we're tapping into something inside. So this is the Dalad Amal Shalalucha, and that's where he hangs out. Just got what he said over there, Halucha. Kamali Shalucha Shabatera, and Yunus and Mishnah Stora, Gabakulus in and Atera. Zukta do, Kinokon Shabusun, Isi Ben Yisha, Besalach Miadeh, and Nagan, the Gibel Chai, the Ishmachama, Venuvan. Venuvan Dover, Ishtoy, Hashem Imoy, Shakalunis Lamalas Belim and Atera, Yidayan Nagan, Shedei Lishol, Gibel, Shamarapon, okay, Ishtoy, Shamarapon Bahalacha. If I stoy is somebody that is a righteous man, you're a stand-up guy. You hold by your word, and you're doing with intention. That's halacha. So as to the Saint took is when this is in ganzen Farbreng. We're going into Kodesh Kodeshim, and then the next day is God's Stuk. The day after that, so we're doing. This is our version of going into the Kodesh Kodeshim. Is Tisha B'av. The Dreiwochen zijn we know these are they're very an opportune time. There's a lot of opportunity in the dry weather. Yes, it's a little pulling and intense, but it's hot, and the fabric of Malchus is almost see-through. You're surrounded, you're Ben Amitzadim, and it just, at this point, it's just melting away. And then Tisha B'Av, you have the breaking down, coming in, and they're burning down the Beis Hamikdash. And you have Chochma Koyach Ma, Abba Yasad Brata, which is Malchus, and our Koyach Ma and Malchus is the same way that we can surrender. You can surrender to whatever is you can surrender to, which is how, once again, how do you surrender? By being present. What does it mean being present? If I go in the supermarket and you're buying, shopping, I'm present with what I'm doing right now. As I'm being present, I tune into what am I feeling. When you're feeling, you're connecting to the koyach haruchni, the higher vibration, and that vibration that you're feeling, that is the neshama. I'm saying the soul is levels, not neshama yet, but let's just say, and you're tapping into a creative force. Yes, it is. That's what it is. So the thing that's breathing you, that's from the depth of Creator's stomach, so to speak. And you're getting present with that. That presence melts away all the other noise, everything else, because this is a higher vibration. You're feeling this high, innocence in believing in it, because the more you believe, the more you're going to thin the air. So when I'm vibing on a high frequency, when I'm nervous, then that's what we're creating. If you go into stillness, the silence, then that's what you're going to be connecting to. And you have Malchus is the Am for the Keser, and Keser in Melech B'lo Am, so we're locked in. He's the king, and we're the Am. We're the people, his connect, his children. His children means that all of the machshava. First machshava, so from all machshavas. And in the 9 days Tisha B'Av is because we have this level of bittul that we can surrender. You're able to forgive yourself. You have the koyach to forgive yourself, which means that I can go to a place where I feel good. I feel the anger, I feel the resentment, and I go into a place where it aligns. Connecting to Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then you have the Shiva Roim. Whatever Roim is, whatever you're connected to. Breslov, Chabad, whatever it is, that's your Roim, and you're connecting, and that's your channel. And that is Tisha B'Av, and the 9 days. You want to close your eyes for a minute, maybe? A little bit of meditation. Asha? Question?
No.
Okay. Anybody has a question? You have a question about that?
I have a question.
Okay. So let's go. Let's close your eyes. Just take a deep breath in. Relax your body. Relax your chest. Lean back. Lean back and Get present to the center of the chest, center of the heart. Just breathe in, bring attention to the breath. This breath that we're breathing, the air, whatever's coming in. The breath is out there. It's the machine that breathes, that decides how to process it. So everything is processing in its way. Everything breathes. The daimon also breathes. The trees breathe. Animals breathe. People out there breathe. You breathe too. What are you breathing? Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Relax your stomach. Feel the pulse, feel the beat, whatever the beat of the pulse is, just feel it. Attention to your forehead. Imagine your heart is fire, and that fire lights up the image of yourself. Skeletal body, translucent, see-through. This week is Shabbat Chazan. Everybody gets an image of the Beis Hamikdash. That image is your image. We are all a part of the Beis Hamikdash. We each have a letter. That's the Beis Hamikdash of fire. What it's going to look like, I don't know. But that's what they're saying. We're all getting back together. We're going to realize we're all just one organism. But we have to first forgive. When you say it, you are being forgiven. The deeper you can go with that and believe that, the deeper and a more refined vibration you will create, and that's going to become your reality. So as the Beis Hamikdash is charav and it's burning, take it personal. Do something about it. Bring your attention to the forehead and the top of the head. You can imagine that you can picture a letter, you can picture an ois, an olive ois, you can picture your tzaddik, whatever. To help you light up your heart, your Beis Hamikdash, because once your heart is lit, that projects out, so you can see your Beis Hamikdash, you can see what you are participating, what your letter is. Remember, the davening is not understanding the words. Yes, there has to be kavanah, but those are for the people that are able to do kavanah. What about for those people that are lower? Which means that they are from higher, because the lower something is, the less expression it has. And if it has less expression, it means that it's coming from a higher place in Kesed, where there is no speech. It just is Tainuk. How many are dyslexic and can't read or can't connect? So he's saying you're fire, you're coming from a place that has no expression, because if you were supposed to speak and read properly, then you would have been born that way. But since you are not, that means that you are a pure, powerful voltage of light, that all it needs is to just be, say Shema Yisrael, listening to a song, connecting to your heart, and create fire, whichever way you can create fire. Place where somebody that is about tshuva stands as a tzaddik gomer can't reach there, because he doesn't have that fire, he doesn't have that fight. He was never in Archoze. We're like slinking back, going back into it. And the more the stretch, the more the pull, the further you can break out. Simple math. So it's time to start building the Beis Hamikdash. As we start believing that and feeling that, that's what's going to become the reality out there. It's important to learn Hilchos Beis Hamikdash, as I said, Ausgekickt and all that, or look at the pictures, so you have an image in your head. You know what to look for. You know what to feel, what to see. Now I think they have this VCR or whatever it's called, VR, that you put on the goggles and you see the whole thing. I heard that it's amazing. I have to check it out too. Gives you an idea. Gives you the image, the picture of what and you can feel what you're feeling and start vibing that. And of course, it's going to be way more colorful than what it was, because this is going to be made out of light, made out of fire. What's that? Right. You're asking or you're saying?
I'm born the Yiddish, but you know, that's just a bowl of eigen. Are the
Andere weet altijd.
Ja, dat is een eigen bos.
aan die bols.
That's the reality. That's the reality you start taking up.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Ik zei jede bel en jede foto is met een schede hier. En ik zei als je wist me gaan wel.
How do you feel about that?
This is a question to you all, and I'm sure all the witness.
No, let's. How do you feel about it? Not the question. Is it feels to the fact that they both of us in English, they the you and nothing. You don't see the benefit. How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel good because je duurt wat ik breng naar internet. Wat je hebt gezegd is mooi hier. Als je kan gaan voor dat leuk. Dat is al leuk.
How do you feel about that Muslim English is not that it's not here yet? That you keep doing what?
Gewoon zo alleen.
Where do you feel it?
Hot?
Yeah. Right here. Going in, going through. Okay. So feel it. Activate it. Start projecting that. Start sending out that pulse. Feel. It's here to activate. The Chachma understands the outcome. And Malchus has the same way. Malchus also has the koyach to surrender.
So that's the question. See, I mean, if I have to gear it that way.
And which
So
way?
that plus we can zoom in, so I have to focus back on my
Wie is de onkenning?
Je wil omdoen?
Yes.
Plaats van voor peace.
We kick those down, we kick those peace.
Jag kan använda olmasir, så kick oss lätt. In olmasir.
Okay. So you're saying that it's 100% left because right now, if it was your left leg.
Jetzt?
Yes.
Zero.
0%?
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty tough in your little boy. Yeah. It's probably we got that guitar break. By getting present. By getting present with what you're doing, find the peace in what you're doing. By doing that, you're going into connecting to the creative force, and from the creative force, that's Avram Yitzchak Yankim, from that place you can create. Makes sense? Or we can say with the other man. You can start carrying it in the chesed. Moving pieces around. Can you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What?
All of us?
No, check it out. Shaya. What's the effect?
Dus als de wacht is als dat denk ik zich weer present met been met publiek voor de week terug en lectures bring it to the core.
Okay, so let's go like this. What I'm talking about over here now is Baklal. I'm giving you, I'm explaining the technology of how this works. How to bring it into your own personal life, then that's the avodah, how you understand it. But what I'm saying is that the way you are, that's the way you're going to create. And if my life is still not the way I want it to be, it means that I'm still not creating from the right place. And if it sounds like something that you just listened to on YouTube, I'm just repeating what the Nachman is telling us. Bria Chadasha, he talks very colorful and trippy concepts about how we're creating. And I'm trying to be as much as a tamim that I can possibly be. That same tamim that was, had no value in in the business world, but in this world, it all that matters. The more tmimis one can be, the more you can create. So that's why when we say Chanan Amar B'Leseloach, he forgives. Otherwise, it's yesterday's Tanya. Otherwise, it's a Bruch L'Vatulin. It's like making a mazonis and a grape. Chanan Amar B'Leseloach means that he is. I'm tapping into the Chanan, that thing that is a Chanan, merciful. What's the right word for Chanan? Chanan is like motherly love. Like mamish, like holding in your hands. Chanan Hamar B'Leseloach, he keeps, as you ask for forgiveness, which means like I'm pulling out from where I'm invested and I go into more forgiving myself and I'm like, I'm good enough, I'm fine, and I forgive and I'll let go, and I'm going to a place that I'm feeling good, where I'm feeling compassion. You're activating that, and he gives you that back, and that separates from the thick and heavy energies. There's water right here. Yeah, there's water right here. That separates from that heavy energy that was created while you were still creating from a place of static noise, when I'm still having judgments and all that, feeling sad and victim and all that, and everything that happens is here to wake us up to that where we are stuck. Everything that happens is to wake us up to that place. But I'm feeling. So, Kimmer doesn't listen. Zuk der Rebbe. There's something called Chachma, which is Koyachma, is Royas Anoyle. Therefore, he can always figure out the positive in everything because he sees the outcome of everything. Any twisted situation, Koyachma has a koyach to surrender and be like, okay, I see the good in that, and he just flashes right through it. So too Malchus, once that plays out in Vavke, which is in the physical world, when it plays out in Vavke, that is us, that we also have the koyach to see the good in everything. We also have the koyach to twist everything into a positive. Remember who our Verenze Zayde is from the andere Zayde. Loven Arami. There's a reason for which Avrum a dafke gewollt in jene Meshpucha. As my Meshpucha told me, wusste the grosse Yiches mit Loven. Terech, like, what's the Yiches do? What are we talking about here? Some high functioning, believed in a falsche Sachen over the Zura. I mean, whatever level it was a level. They were that powerful that was everything there was. In other words, they fully owned their koyach. That's a the Zura. He was fully present. Pari was fully present with his koyach. He had no choice but to be Pari. And you can pretend like 1 second as I got there, ich bin the Tana Nagudel. And he did his job to the end. Biz the waters when he came and biz do, and he kept going. That's how present he was. Do you understand? That's how present he was. You understand? How present he was?
Als ik vorige dag wegen Willem, dat is heel bekend.
Avoider, dat is van avoider. Ik had the Garanta country, the most powerful country in the world. Power is not like, I'm talking about real power. You had to sit, and all you had to do is always, he was floating. He was gonna kleiner Gott. Ein kleiner Gott. The point that I got nicht in toilet. It's just really stamp and spiel. Yeah. He was that present. And his economy is taking a beating from every side, every corner. And he's holding. And he was holding massive space for his energy that he shouldn't, he was fighting for it. He was fully present. Again, a connected motion. The Rebbe read from Pesach. Interesting. I was like, I didn't see the kesher, but I think now I see the kesher. I still don't see the kesher. Like, I would never have the audacity to talk about Pesach right now. But who talks about Pesach? Yeah. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, she does talk from the What's that?
Was dat wat we dat we dat we trying to leave and we have to connect this that.
So first I'm going to cut straight to the chase. You ever been in a process? Like you did the work and you get very emotional and connected?
Yeah.
That's the Beis Hamikdash. It's a holy place. It's very sacred. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Because if you listened, you wouldn't have an answer immediately. You would process what I'm saying. Wishes. That's why you're asking a question. So I'm saying that feeling. First, that feeling that you're feeling, that is the Beis Hamikdash. What are you asking for? What are you crying about? What are you screaming about? What do you want? What am I looking for? What are you looking for? Connection to the people that created me, connection to my kids. But what is that? What is the creative force of all that? What's behind all that? What's driving all that? Everything that I want to connect to. That's the Beis Hamikdash. And when the Beis Hamikdash got Stein, which is when Insgam is a Aufstellen, and we're going to understand that, then Sigat Aibiga Zazan, which means that you will not wake up with an anxiety. Not that you do, I'm just saying. Talking general, because people do talk, so I have to make sure that people understand that it's not, we're just using that. We're using free information. Anxiety, you're going to learn how to be present, and once we are present, keep it on. I have to break silence. Once we are present, you'll be able to create the leben. So God's on peace, it's on manicha, it's on. It's a good bank all that. That blue bank one.
Actually, the para comes down and she can keep this para getting, but don't go wrong as para.
No, you can go as wrong as you can go as wrong as that. No, so go as wrong. Go as wrong as the Hagar with the mile in a position in the Bashamtiv.
But nicht gepart, du fragst mich, was der Leber von para.
Nein, but the Paisach, nicht Para. Para ist aber nicht gegangen zu Para. Sie gehen Leber von Paisach.
Okay, it's fine. The basics.
Yes, the olive base. Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you before. Does that help the Hagar? What then is left in Schwarz and Gornish? What? Good, 1 second. Is he gewoon kleuren voor die? Oh, dan is. Je dacht dus.
Zeg je de kans hebben? Dat is met de building, de ganze, de actual building. Dat is gewoon einfach hier als de force deze is connection to whatever to God and of them. Dit dort in de wie gelooft met dat is Mashiach en jetzt is de Beis Hamikdash was de building was de met zijn mesh.
Thank you for that question. The Beis Hamikdash was a training place for us. That trained us to. Every action that we do over here creates an energy. When it's expired from the Welt is whatever we created. That's what we're living in. That's the energy we're living. Okay. Everything is that it's almost like you're hitting up against, you're creating, just in thin air. I go like this, creating. Whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm doing, I keep creating. So what created the Beis Hamikdash? We created that physical, and we did actions in that place. We did actions, which created an energy. That type of vibration over there, with the karbunas and the yechidim and sigven, whatever was going on over there. And then that was moved away. So again, you have the Beis Hamikdash, you have kleine fensters, innerweinig and große fensters in the rosen, which means that the light came out of the Beis Hamikdash and it came on to us. Once the Beis Hamikdash was moved away, we've been ingrained, we've been trained, and it's carved out. All the tracks have been carved out, and now the Beis Hamikdash, the physical, got weg. So that forces us to light up, and we were starting to spit out whatever was put in. Whatever light was coming here, this 2 billion watt of light that kept coming every single day. You remove that, and now we are that light. This is the hearts van a Yid. Jede part van de Shechanurach, ja, Hapteron, dat een van de... Jede part van de gif is connected nog another Kyle in Beis Hamikdash. So we're a little walking Beis Hamikdash, it's karbunas. Was bringing aseh, was bringing atam, ma'olah. What do you sacrifice? What have you sacrificed today? Atzigala, shefela, bull, ashar. Did you go into a deep process and you mamish like Mesiris Nefesh, you fully surrendered? Makri and Afest and Kod, Afest and Shar. What was your machshava after you did that? What was your intention? Was Yata Cheshbon, Piglu? Intentions were pure? Okay, let's gebrengt Ashar Nekar. That was today. Ken daaraan morgen. But breng je kan kelef. Don't bring a dog. Daaraan is John. Keep it simple. All that was training. Now, before that, let's just go back to the beginning, just light, the shamas. We were not aware of ourselves. We needed something to activate it. So the more interaction we have, so it's like, it keeps moving. As it moves, it has billions of strahl, and it keeps moving, and everybody has exactly what Chachma. We're talking about Chachma. Kulam b'Chachma Sisa. So there's 8 billion of these generators, of these lights that keep everybody going. 8 billion people, approximately. 16 billion eyes. Okay, so it keeps moving, and it moves in exactly where it needs to be. The Shtedens, the Lavuna, the Mazulas, and then Hechel, all the word we can tap into higher than that, and as it moves, just slide an inch, and it has massive effect. Jedes Gebäude, exactly where it's your energy, your space, everything is aligned exactly where it's supposed to be. And if there's somebody that's just having, Atzikvetch the Purim, God forbid, means like his life is a little stressed out, you're holding that ankle. You're holding that, you're that beam. Surrender. Surrender, and what happens when you surrender is you're going to find your creative force. You're going to find the creative force within you, because once I surrender and I get present with what I'm doing, you tap into the force of life within you, two sides. And if it's creating me every second, every second we're full of just molecules and all types of cells, but it's all energy. You can almost like put your hand through it. Yeah, even the bones are energy. So, easier said than done, but that's the fact. I'm just saying. That's what we want to. That's the energy body. So, if you tap into that you accept your matziv, you're tapping into the force that creates, and from that place you can create. You can create, but in the beginning it's just a little brekelef, because you're choking. You know how much present. We're talking about, and then it's expanding. It's breaking out. With love and compassion, that is the Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi. The third Beis Hamikdash is going to be when we are all going to be aligned with that wherever we need to be. Jeder eine geht Zam peace, Malchus, surrender, Tisha B'Av, Farbreng was Hamikdash, going into Kodesh Kodeshim, your Kodesh Kodeshim. And when we're in that place, that is Mashiach. That's Mashiach. Mashiach is jeder andere hat sich Zam Mashiach innerwanig innen. There's levels. Asura Aluf, Asura Mayas, yes. There has to be a person. That's what they're saying. But it's the Mashiach innerwanig in me. Man Yechide. Dvaikis. Oneness. Easier said than done, but I'm just saying the program. And then you have to apply it. And then I think it's pretty easy for the guys out there, because really all you got to know is that the Eibishter is everywhere. Everything is created. Everything is Eibishter. It's simple. And every day when I have worry or doubt, I'm like, that is my klippah. And it's here to bring awareness to that chaylik of me, that it's bringing awareness that it's do a higher power, it's do a God of the world. Getting present with it, tapping into your creative force once again. That's what you want to focus on when we're talking about Beis HaMikdash. You want to focus on a menicha, a certain peace, that noise, that the problems are noise. It's all types of noises. It just comes out and it plays out. This noise creates then that block. It creates that image, that scenario in my business, in my work, and all that. So in the 9 days, going into stillness, activating, and then we keep going. Remember, you're just a soldier. You're just soldiers. Nobody asked me, and I asked you like what you want tomorrow. There's a job to do. I'm like, I got it, no problem, I'll do it. Who else is going to do it? Your father? The guy that's sitting in Mizrachland? Who's going to get the work done? Who's going to build? Who are the builders? Who got the boots? You have pain in your life? Okay. You're a soldier. Fight. Search, look, get the job done. You want to complain? Okay. You can go. You can pay somebody to listen to you complain for a few minutes. I don't do that. But saying I'm not listening. So tefillin and noch statt tefillin ansha mechama and b'shas mechama atzma el gam kashiyidem achere menich mit tefillin meret in the Torah v'zrei afkatke nase lorak alei noch tefillin ansha mechama atzma b'shas mechama atzma gam kashiyidem achere menich mit tefillin. Like we said, go do it out there. Go help people build their Beis HaMikdash. So that is Tisha B'Av. I mean, we're going to talk about Mashur as we build up the Tisha B'Av. When is Tisha B'Av? So how long is that Tisha B'Av? We're actually giving the ganze Tisha B'Av. Right? There will be more. Okay, B'Ezrat Hashem. What else? Beis HaMikdash, Tanya.
That's the ein strategy.
What's that?
That's the ein strategy to help begin and go this time. Even Beis HaMikdash is ein strategy.
Yeah.
There's another strategy. We're going against Beis HaMikdash without this board. Just helping
Exactly. Exactly.
This is the difference between Shina and Shina. Dus wie komt er aan Shina dan?
Okay.
God, sta ik erbij.
Oh, du bist aber schön.
Nee, ik ga maar question, but God zit er dan zien hem af. The difference between the eerste was maybe the zweite is that the eerste macht a mistake. So ich say, oh, werd ik een streek. Ze bezeugen bespreken, maar ja, ze gaan tussen mij en God. Het tweede was mij, dat je gewoon self-inflicting pain. Ze waren alleen opgemaakt en zeggen, we did it ourselves. Soms ga je dat. Soms gaat fear of fear. Soms alleen zo wie been, trachtig, als je doorpleidt in je beginnen. Als je geen zin is beginnen, ze gaan dat in je vinden. Ze is echt geen reason voor ze. Alles ze fout doen en ze zijn on track.
Why should you hate yourself?
Ja. Jullie, deze was meer dat je gewoon misaligned, zonder trick-aligned, dat weet ik. Je hebt, en soms alleen als je gaat, dan zijn we trick-aligned, jullie. En zo'n als je gaat, als dan zijn we, als dat is simpel. Ik hier gooit misrig en marf. Zo'n schap dat is simpel. Maar waarom met een schap dat is simpel, omdat ze gaan tiefer eraan in de blad daaraan. En we nemen ze gewoon een self-inflicting pain. Maar komt dus als een schinnen towards thyself. Ik dank houden, but still, je kunt er zinnen, maar ginnen, je kunt er aan ginnen.
Mensen zoeken het woensdag, dus ik merk dat we gaan beschrijven. Is bij jeder Meinung dan hart. Wat echt was für mich ist, mit physical was für mich gerade sagen, das muss ich schließen. Kann sagen, eines für mich bei jeder Meinung. Jeder eine hat Benefit von dem, was für mich ist. Aber irgendwie bringt gerne was für mich ist. Das hat eine größere Value, wie wenn ein helfen hier bauen jemand was für mich. Also jemand muss sehen, in Ordnung, was ich mache.
So you have Chinam, first of all, what's the first similar words to Chaman? Chanina. Chana normal with the Shalach. You have the other side of Chinam. Is Chain. The other side of Chinam is Chain. What is Chain? Mensch Chain. What is Chain?
Oh, gaan we beginnen van ginnen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get it. But what is? I want you to feel it. What is Chain? The Mensch Chain. It's nicht come beauty. It says a Chain. What is Chain?
Iedereen heeft een gewisse fantasy, is mind perfect.
Just feel it. Feel it right in your center of your chest. Feel Chain. What does it mean Chain? Beauty is more in the middes. Chain is more like it's very delicate. It's a hechere zach. It's a shine on the face. It's a glow. So from the sin is chinam, the other side of that, the reis and it is chaim.
Yeah.
Chaim. You follow? You guys connect me with that? With Chinam and Chaim?
You are a shampoo of a lech, we connect with. You are a shampoo.
Yeah.
It's a shampoo.
Yeah, good. You connecting with the Chaim? Chinam? You connect with the Chaim? Connection with the Chaim? Alright, so let's go like this. Sin is Chinam. So again, as sin is Chinam. Yeah, my great thing, if you, what Chinam is and all that. Chinam is that a self-hate. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but let's go to the next one of that. Chinam is, what is on the other side of Chinam? What's the umazeh from Chinam? For nothing. The other side of that is Chain. Because Chain also doesn't have a translation. It also doesn't have a reason. She's not pretty, she's not in the features, just has a Chain. Eret a Chain. Nothing in particular. I can't on any shape. But there's something about him. It's Chinam. That's the other side, and that is the gift of okay.
Deze voels.
Yeah? That's it? Okay. I think that's the radical forgiveness. What about what's all this? And then I wanted to go to how we got into the Chinuch, but we'll get to that in a minute.
So I had this talk with my son last night and told him if you're not going to have Sinas Chinuch on any kind of Jew, then you're going to have Chaim by other people. That's why I connect.
Can you feel where it's coming from? In the body? It's more here. It's a little higher than the heart. Because the heart is still, can get pulled into the midas. There's still cheshbon. Here it's just, it's... What?
Expression from the heart.
Yes, closer to the, very good, closer to the communication. And also it's more, it's like a chidush b'nefesh. No, the chidush b'nefesh is here. This is higher, this is already an expression. Very good. Chanina, right here. Chen. That's the Sinas Chinuch. This is your Tisha B'Av, right here. More to come, but this is first. And we'll find more language for it. Yeah, as everybody processes it, it starts germinating. From the headquarters. The headquarters now. It's germinates. Said it. Go.
Huh? Maar ik had in één van gaan, dus ik wist fantasy, hier went ik wist subconscious fantasy.
Wow.
With some mind, perfect connection.
No, stop right there 1 second.
Okay.
Stop right there 1 second. Because any words you're getting away from it. So you're saying that jeder hat in sich a certain, what's the good?
Subconscious fantasy.
Fantasy. A fantasy.
It's a mind perfect.
Jeder hat zijn fantasy. Zijn fantasie. Was mind perfect. Zijn imagination is mind perfect. And that is Chaim. That's your little child. The child has Chaim. The Jingel hat Chaim. Er is kleintje. Bis de 3, 4, nog een zo'n. Bis de 6. I'm sorry. Bis de 6. What's your first memory? The first question. What's your first memory of your trauma? When I was 7, 8 years old. Usually 90% is 7, 6, 7, 8. That was verlieren of the Chaim. That's a trauma. They're going into a different... This is a verlieren of the Chaim, and the parents start communicating with them in a different way. That's the first trauma that you receive. Stimmt?
Go back to the feeling.
Fantasy meist die
Huh?
liefnis.
Right brain.
Yes. What's that? Perfect, exactly. Ze hebben nog een kinderische, feminine, late. So imagine...
Go back to your feeling, because you feel of the airport map on the floor. What's again? The airport map.
Yes.
That's fantasy line. Go back to the feeling.
But this is right there. It's important because that's where the trauma happens, right? 7 year old, and you see now something shifts in the kid. He's not, they don't have that thing anymore. I guess it's the innocence, or they're going into life. The first, disappointment in school, and the teacher is somebody that brings that negativity into school, and the kid picks it up, or we have enough of it going around in the house, and the kid becomes mindful of it. That is the Chaim. Your fantasy. That's the Beis HaMikdash. It's a fantasy.
There's a machloke tussen 5 and 7 years. I can kick daar in de wereld. Dus hij had liever 7 years stapt zich eens. So there's a machloke is 5 to 7 years.
Dus hij kijkt daar in de wereld zich staan?
But till 5 to 7 years, he looks around what he likes and what he will. And then hij noemt zijn titans aan de screws. Komt te ga je er, no, kan je stehen there, kan je stehen there.
And it's very titan by Insaline also, because you have also, like, we can only give what we give. So if there was a restriction from my childhood, or projection, it's also a restriction.
You can give what you don't have.
Exactly. Or project. Very good, but now you're projecting that. Instead of restricting, you're projecting. So either way, you're going to mess with the machine. The idea is that surrender. Surrender to
I have a 22-year-old and a 5-year-old. So my 22 is completely different language than my 5-year-old. Because I am different. So I talk to him a different language.
He's already there. He's open.
His Rabbi Chaide tells me that he's different than anybody.
All right. Any questions on this? Everyone understand what Chen is, Chanina, and this is the 9 days, Sinus Chinam. Sinus Chinam, does that answer your question?
Not really, actually.
What?
The point is to convert the sinus to Chaim.
Yes. To convert it to Chaim, which is finding your... What's really pressing you? What's the sinner? What's the hate? What's the resentment that I feel? The resentment is that I have a certain fantasy in me, and you're not seeing me from that place. It's too harsh. When I was a kid, I wanted to express my fantasy, and I was shut down. I had an imagination, I was told to be quiet, or I wasn't even seen. So I create a certain hate, a certain sin, a certain resentment. But this is a little more thinner. This is not as hate is more still in the middle. This is more refined. There's a certain like sezit stuff in chest. You're just hovering there. Hovering is the right word. Lafefas. Go back into your childish innocence to the Chen.
Fantasy is not echt een zaak. Fantasy is eigenlijk een ding.
That's exactly the problem.
It's the actual zaak. It's the actual me.
This is exactly the problem. Als we stop the Chaim, als we stop the fantasy, the childish fantasy.
Can I ask a question? When they created the computer, imagine Kim staan in office, imagine Kim staan aan, also de 50 uur zurück, 60 uur zurück, en ik zit dat een grootste executives en looks like Chalata had a thought, had a fantasy, imagination. I want to open this thing that's going to have these windows. They're going to pop. You're going to click in it, and then you'll be able to touch it, and they look at you, and they're like, "Is it going to have colors too?" It's a childish fantasy. Any commercial you're going to watch, you're going to say like, "How drunk were they when they did it?" Like, how do you do this in a serious face? Like, you actually come in and you do this, you make yourself crazy like that. And this is what people watch. It's a childish imagination. It's being very childish. And when you are childish, that's what creates, it captivates. Nobody's interested in the rigidness, but this brings out, that action brings out that reaction. So your fantasy is what it's all about. And when we're going to have the softness and the chen to act on my fantasy, what is the fantasy? To sit on the floor, play with my kids? I mean, or to, what's the fantasy? I'm talking about the fantasy that is so not accepted. The fantasy that you like is just my imagination. What's the fantasy? No? Okay, fine.
Fantasy is just my...
There's something there, just to really be that.
Exactly.
So the fantasy is my imagination, but this looks kind of nice.
Okay, some things may take a minute to happen. Some things may take a minute.
Fantasy is wil, laten we zeggen, 10 ben ik eens aan de.
Maar weer zoekt, zeker left brain.
Point is
Check disconnected.
The point is on dart, no, so what are you saying?
Look, the point is when it comes to the fantasy.
The fantasy is right here. The fantasy is in this dart. This is the fantasy, right here.
Fantasy is a fantasy.
Koi Hamadama, now again, you want to fantasize about stuff that matters. Of course. You want to immerse yourself in high conscience stuff and start going into Das Alien. Whatever that means to you, whatever steps you got to take together. My fantasies are different than your fantasies. So that is the sitting doing this is part of something that gets a Farbreng, and it's talking about high conscience stuff. That's a fantasy, and you're here, you're doing it. So it's doing something. It takes up some space in your reality, otherwise you wouldn't. Make sense? listen, feeling is it's what was it learning? So, yeah, listen to this. Let me just go like this. This stuff is real. This is the truth. And this is where we're heading. The only question that we're having is how do I do that? Not if. The question is not if. I'm telling you for a fact, it's not if. It's a fact. The fact is that Mashiach is in the process of evolution, is here, says the Rebbe. The fact is that there is going to be a third Beis Hamikdash, and that is a high conscience place that we're just going to be vibing. I mean, you want to try. I can give you my closest thing to that. You come here Sukkos, and you go through certain parts of the Yom Tov, and that's a feeling of Beis Hamikdash. You get into a Sikkah where there's sitting there guys cramped in, and it's pouring rain, and mazitz them trinkt, and they're just sharing stories and talking and doing their thing, laughing or screaming, or Farbreng, deep Farbreng, having conversation. That is a hub. That's a cell that is channeling Beis Hamikdash energy, and there's nothing more exciting than that. Or 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, when you have thousands of people, Bachram, that have massive chassidus in their head, massive Torah, massive consciousness. They understand Yichida, they understand Achdos, they work in it, they live it, they breathe it, and they're here dancing all night. Means they're being, brought here from Israel. In order to win a trip, you have to know, I think, the whole Tanya Bapa, and you have to know an X amount of Mamorim, and they come here, somebody pays for their ticket. And they get to be here for a month. So these are, Chaver. It's pretty much every Chabad guy that they're learning, sitting in Chassidus. Who doesn't want to learn Chassidus? Who doesn't want to learn, our way of who we are? What's going on over here for real? If it's some guy coming from the Amazon, everybody gets all excited. This is the Schoide. This is the words and the energy behind and front of everything that's going on over there.
This is the fantasy.
This is the fantasy. So that is a fact. These things are fact. The question is just how we're going to. How do I get there? Where am I stuck? What do I need to see? So instead of focusing on where I'm stuck, and asking the questions of why, just go into the feeling. Vusya. Bypass the whole system. At least for 3 or 4 hours. Bypass everything. Is it Davana? Daisy? Daisy's over? Yeah, the link is up. Yeah. So that is die we erin. Het valt nog in met een zoon. Die we helpen.
It is. It's the question only how.
This is dominant.
I'm sorry, what?
This is dominant.
This is Amazon. The Beis Hamikdash do.
We connect that. This is the Chassidus, the connection.
Yes, so Sikkahs, you can experience that. If you go into, there's a Sikkah there actually next to the back of the shul, there is just a strong vibe over there. Or in the regular Shabbos. You walk in there during the day and there's just different things happening, and everything is like, you have talking, drinking, drunk, learning, davening, laughing, eating, talking loud. And it's just, everybody understands that there is a higher power, there's something else, that they're all here for the same thing. There's this Achlis, we all have one thing in mind. They all understand that, there's an energy over here that we're all connected to. So, just one more piece over here. Here he talks about reminding them everything we went through. We walked in the midbar, and it is getrogen kasher yise ishes benoi. B'chol derech asher lachtam ad bach mad amokem hazeh. Also wie a Tata trug sein Kind. Ishes erishte benoi zas ad amokem hazeh, till this present place, right here, right now. Yevadover hazeh enchem aminim Hashem alekechem. Because he promised in Achal in Medem we still don't believe in Ebershter Lekechem. Zukta as Shiu Maftichachem Lavrachem Ala Oretz. Enchem Aminim Boy. Like he's daftocha to bring us into the land, but forget it. This is like really talking to us. It's almost like, hey, what do you want from me? You want me to believe what? I mean, it's not like we're like generational domesticated animals playing in a circus. So he's saying, at night there is fire to show you the way. When it's dark, when you can't see, you're feeling the anger, the heaviness in the heart, the anger. That's there to light up the way for you. Tapping into Malchus, less than a Gam Maklum, finding the message in it. You have the ability to do that because you have choice. Choice is you can choose a better day tomorrow. Tapping into the force of creation. That's at night when it's dark. Iba'anan yomim, and when it's lichtig, to just be present with that. That too, we don't need to constantly go back to the fire to bring a good day. I don't need to always get myself into a stressful situation so I can get myself out of it, because my existence is that if it's too peaceful, then something is going to, when is the next shoe going to drop? So it's still. So I'm going to recreate quickly some noise in my life so I can stay grounded. Otherwise I don't know how to process it. That's spotted. He keeps doing it. Okay. So that is the spiel for the 9 days. And Tisha B'Av, 3 Wochen. Tonight is a Chodesh Av, Menachem Av, Chachma, Father, Abba Yosef Brata. You can connect to that level of surrender by simply bypassing the whole spiel. Instead of going from Chachma to Bina and Das and into the heart, and from the heart giving birth to the Zach Smithers, now you have to deal with all your stories, all the pain, and you're right and you're wrong, and then giving birth to it in Yesod, and then if it doesn't get tangled up in Yesod, it can just go completely south by the time you make it down to Yesod with all that work. And then what comes out is something completely crooked and twisted, and we're back to square one. Chachma, Abba Yosef Brata. I get it, I understand, I surrender, I want to just be connected, feeling. And with the davening, what I wanted to say is that not even understanding the words, but the words are bouncing off you, it's making you feel. The words are just there to light up that fire, to what am I feeling when I'm davening, feeling that connection, becoming present that I'm wearing my tefillin. Just be present with that you're wearing your tefillin. I just wanna real quick here, way over here like this. My phone is on or off? Okay. Yeah. Why would somebody leave the chat? Like, I don't get it. Why would somebody leave? Like, how?
It's geschmat.
No, it's like, how angry do you have to be to leave? Like, I'm a lavach, like, what's my first? A sponsorship, do that.
Anyway.
Stop. No, this is good. So let me say. Oh, maar is geschickt door. Die wil sponsor. Dat ik maar aangekracht in de wrong chat. Okay. Okay, so we have a sponsor for tonight is Adam Martcheb and Culture Carmela. Wow. Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. Shira Nami Bracha Basara. Shneur Zalman, Chaim Mushka, Shana Simon, Chana Fege, Yosef, Israel, Shalom Davber, Menucha Liba, Tzemach Arya Leib. Fire. Okay. Baruch Hashem. Thank you, brother. And then we have for the other thing that, the sponsors, I gotta ask them if they want to be mentioned. So the ones that I know for sure have no problem. For that piece, the video piece, right? So you have Shimi Halpern, Machi Feinstein, Gloria Leither, and Abe Greenberg. Thank you for helping, giving just the confidence that this thing can continue going. And no, wrong words, continue going. It's going to continue going. I'm going. So to making it to, validating the work and also creating, by being a part of it, it gives more energy, koyach, and as the Rebbe starts over the Farbreng this week, so I'm shaking. Yeah, this is Matras Koyach brengen de wachten. Can you do? Okay. Huh? Oh, Mike brengt de wassen? Wow, is eerst lang wacht dan uit. Okay. Gegangen? Zijn we niet zusammen, hè? Okay. The Kiddush B'Shvua Zeh Tzirich Li is Inyan Hanagal Tzibur Gudel Shebanei Yisrael. Shabbos Chazon. Bei Im Yitzlich HaMalach Mechal Lifel Zoy Shtir as well as the beginning to Septus. V'ima Eze Tam Shalifel Zoy Malach Mechal Te Paul Zoy as well as V'Yakov Atevnei V'Nigvan. So he said, a Chassidish Farbreng kan often kan Malach Mechal nicht often. What a Chassidish Farbreng can do, Malach Mechal cannot do. Which means that he is a messenger. We are a part of the shliach, of the guy, of the thing that sends. So if I bring, when you're sitting here and you're having this intention, you're clicking in and you're connecting to this powerful outcome and bringing brachas and fees for all the people that, for sure, that they sponsored Bereshah. And from there, just connecting and releasing, letting go of the lock, letting go of the restriction. This is Vadas, no, this is a Farbreng. I was looking, I was going to do a mimer, then I'm like, I don't know. So this Vadas was good. I still want to do a Shtikah for Ramnachman, but it's getting late. Okay. Mi sheroitz lahamshich be'ira teure, tzorech matchil lahamshich la'atzmet de birim chamim kegach la'esh. V'adibir nimshich v'lava elyin. Tzur levavi. Tzorech lishpach sich b'tfilo von Hashem Yisborach, v'et tfilosoi, nicht mehr rachma Hashem Yisborach, olav v'nitzach leva elyin. I think I did it last week. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, understood? Understood? That whoever wants to mamshach zan be'ira teure, wees wil mamshach zan be'ira of teure, darf koiden mamshach zan auf sich, auf seine, la'atz mit de birim chamen kegach la'esh. Darf bringen auf sich, seine de birim zal zan heiß, also wie heiße koiden. And the dibber kommt from the heart, the leva elyon, was auch lish b'sicha but fill of Hashem Yisborach, and then tzur levavi, and from that place you have to be osgis in the hearts when they davens, which means anything is a tefillah. Anytime I'm in a Farbreng session, it's all a tefillah. You're all davening. You're just going, holding, somebody else is holding space so you can best daven against the best osgis in the hearts. Ba'adei tefillah nicht mehr rachma Hashem Yisborach olav, En door de davenen is werd nicht meer is illusion van ze de womb. Ze macht zich auf. De mittetracht. Ze macht zich auf. And the womb creates Arach Hashem Zbarach Aleph. Het komt erop Rachmunis van de Ganon, komt erop. Of een. We niftach leven Elien. Ki ikar Rachman hu beleef. We nishpan beleven Elien, de birim wa idea dibir, mamshach bi ira tere gam kem Hashem. We leven alle beginnen cellen. Shemasham adibir, in other words, you're like a rock. And from that komt er de dibir. And by pouring your heart out, that's when you activate Rachman from the leven Elien. Ja, alle weer voor LiveRecording.